Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you the new video. Today is Thursday, June 26th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Minnesota Twins. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. 4-hour rain delay, but we're at least getting the action going, which is great. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day this Thursday, which is my mom's birthday as well. Happy birthday, Mom. And hopefully we can get a Mariners win and a series win here today. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Thursday, everyone. On the thumb, on the left is our center fielder stud, Julio Rodriguez. And on the right, the shortstop extraordinaire for the Twins, Carlos Correa. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, DHing today for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, playing right field, Dominic Canzone. Batting sixth, playing first base, Donovan Solano. Batting seventh, catching today for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Batting eighth, playing second base, Cole Young. And batting ninth, playing third base, Ben Williamson. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 3-3 record, an ERA of 5.43, it is Emerson Hancock. And now let's get into the starting lineups here for the home Minnesota Twins. Leading off for the Twins in center field, Byron Buxton. Batting second, DHing today for Minnesota, Trevor Larnach. Batting third, playing left field, Willie Castro. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, shortstop, Carlos Correa. Batting fifth, playing right field, Matt Wallner. Batting sixth, playing third base, Brooks Lee. Batting seventh, the former Seattle Mariner first baseman, Ty France. Batting eighth, catching today for the Twins, Ryan Jeffers. And batting ninth, second baseman, Cody Clemens. And on the mound for the Minnesota Twins with a 2-4 record, ERA of 5.06, it is Simeon Woods Richardson. And I wasn't really too sure if this game was going to happen. And, you know, it's kind of crazy to think, you know, when we ended up having the rain delay when we played the White Sox, if, you know, you're going to play baseball in Chicago and you're going to play baseball in Minnesota, wouldn't it make sense to have a roof, especially with all the snow and the rain that you get? But, you know, again, obviously previous stadium had something there, but, you know, at least we're getting the game played. The game was supposed to be scheduled at 10:10 a.m. Pacific, but a lot of big thunderstorms moving into that particular area. But looks like we're going to be able to get going here momentarily, which is great. And again, first pitch is slated for 2:30 Pacific. And through, obviously, Mariners social, the game is not canceled. The game is going to be starting here just in a moment or two. And obviously, once things end up getting fully canceled, at some point or another, you're going to see it on ESPN.com on the screen above, as well as, many, many social media websites. So, 4-hour delay is a big one, but we are going to get going here. All right, let's get all situated with all my screens here. Give me one sec. On the mound will be Simeon Woods Richardson, and leading off for the Mariners will be J.P. Crawford. On deck will be center fielder Julio Rodriguez, and batting third, DHing big dumper Cal Raleigh. And we'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 50 or more overall, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. All day in the building. What's good, brother? Yeah, and normally when we end up playing games due to rain delays, we're not good. We usually lose every single time. So I'm hoping somehow, some way, Emerson Hancock can pitch decent and be a little bit better than his last potential start. And the magic number is going to have to be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. Now, realistically, could this be a low-scoring affair? Absolutely. Most of the time after a rain delay, everyone's routine is kind of fucked. So you were planning on playing at 10:10 a.m. Now it's 2:30 Pacific. So anytime you end up having a 3 or 4 hour delay, hell, even if you have a 1 hour delay, it kind of messes up the typical routine. So final score in this game could be something of 2-1, 3-2, something in that nature, 1 to 3 runs for both. But I'm hoping we can get to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits to give us a chance to be able to win the game here this afternoon. All right, here we go. First pitch from Woods Richardson to J.P. Crawford. Fouls that one off, high and away, 0-1 count. But I'm really happy that the game is underway, and at least we're going to have a chance to prove that we can get the job done. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees with a 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour by Woods Richardson. 1 ball and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. 1-1 pitch. That one's fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Come on, baby. Let's go, J.P. We want to set the tone early and often. And again, if you guys remember the last time that we had a rain delay, it wasn't very pretty. It was similar to yesterday's game when we lost 2-0. But when we played the White Sox and we had that long delay as well. So, we don't have to worry about that in Seattle because we have a retractable roof. But anytime you go to the Midwest or the East Coast, there always is a chance for a rain out. 1-2 pitch. That one's fouled off high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Woods Richardson to J.P. Crawford. And Astros, more than likely will win the division, and we haven't been able to get any help, from the teams that have been playing them lately, which is a little disappointing. You want to be able to start to catch up, the best way that you can, but hard to be able to catch up, if the team that the Astros are playing are putting up only a couple runs in the whole series. And J.P. Crawford grounds out to second, throw to first, 1 away. Next up for the Mariners is Julio Rodriguez. First pitch low and away with a slider, 84 miles an hour by Woods Richardson, 1-0 count. Come on, Julio. But the Astros sweep the Phillies, who scored 1 run in 3 games. Come on, Philadelphia. How the hell are you going to help us out if you're scoring 1 run in 3 games? Absolutely terrible. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike swinging high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Woods Richardson to Julio Rodriguez. And we should be able to do a little damage here on Simeon at some point in the game. ERA of 5.06, 2-4 record. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. Fire photo here. Twins have some pretty nice photos to be able to go through. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Richardson to Julio Rodriguez. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees with the splitter. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Woods Richardson to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We need you. We need that bat to come alive. 2-2 pitch. And that one is fouled off low and in the zone with the slider. 96 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. 4-hour rain delay, but we are here. Yeah, the Wander Franco situation is absolutely terrible. You know, they don't call it Holly weird, you know, for anything, obviously, as Julio on the 2-2 pitch strikes out swinging 2 away. But you're going to get it, you know, from baseball players. You're going to get it from people in Hollywood. It's just kind of a sick thing that has become kind of a norm, you know, in society and whatnot. But hopefully you guys will be able to figure out how to nullify some of that money and whatnot, and you guys can move forward. What could have been if he wasn't, you know, a predator? What could have been for baseball? He could have ended up being a perennial all-star and really helping your team moving forward. But, you got to cut your losses, and then you guys will be just fine without him. Next up is Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. First pitch. Fouled off right down the middle, just a little bit behind on the sweet spot there with that slider. 86 miles an hour by Woods Richardson, 0-1 count. Richardson on the mound, Big Dumper in the box. Let's go, Big Dumper. We need you. Leading the league still with 32 home runs, and hopefully we get at least 1 here today. 0-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle again, behind in the count now 0-2 to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Trident's up. Yeah, Astros did sweep the Phillies, and they ended up only scoring 1 run in 3 games. That's hard to win, you know, any type of series, let alone a game, if you only score 1 run, unless you win 1-0 in one particular game. 0-2 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Woods Richardson to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. 1-2 pitch. That one's fouled off with the 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour by Woods Richardson. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Richardson on the mound. Big Dumper in the box. Let's go, Cal. You can do it left-handed. You can do it right-handed. You can do it any way that you want. But at the end result, we need Tridents up. Let's go. One-two pitch. Fouled off again. Slider, 86 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Woods Richardson to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. One-two pitch. Fouled off again with the splitter. 3 consecutive foul balls there by Cal Raleigh. Keep working it, Cal. We need you, baby. We need to get off to a fast start. And again, you know, a lot of times after a rain delay, you don't really get a whole lot from the players, especially a long delay like this, 4 hours when the game was supposed to be at 10:10 a.m. and we get first pitch at 2:30. But I still got faith. You know, the bats have been hot. You know, we were obviously shut out yesterday. But again, you know, we swept the Guardians, you know, struggled a little bit with the Boston Red Sox, won 2 out of 3 at Wrigley against the Cubs, and obviously started off strong in this particular series, but we got to get this last game to win 3 out of 4. 2-2 pitch, fouled off. Cal Raleigh working this count. Woods Richardson on the mound, Cal Raleigh in the box. Come on, Cal. Let them know we want to try to get 20 within the first hour, 50 or more overall. And obviously we'll be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Okay, baby. I see you. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Come on, Cal. Three-two pitch, and that's a walk. Beautiful at bat. 10-pitch walk for Cal Raleigh. And again, if that was Julio or Randy, that probably would have been a strikeout. So nice job by Cal. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And lately, you know, he's either getting plunked right? He's getting singles, doubles, or striking out, looking, or swinging. So we'll see what of the latter that we're going to get here today, but hopefully we get him on base a couple times. Let's go, Randy. First pitch, high and away with the four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour from Woods Richardson, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, fouled off low and away by Randy Arozarena. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first, Cal Raleigh, and 2 outs. Bring that electricity, Randy. We need it. Let's go. It would have been really tough to be able to make up this game, too. There's only like 2 open dates, based on the calendar that I was looking at. So that's why they decided to go through and just wait for the rain to pass. Randy, and flies out to center, and that is out number 3. Mariners leave 1 stranded, but at least Cal got on with the walk, and we'll see who's up here for the Twins here in the bottom of the first. On the mound for the Mariners, 3-3 record, ERA of 5.43. Overall, he's been pretty good, considering the Bryce Miller injury as a fill-in. He started off the year giving up 6 runs in his first start, got sent down to AAA. ERA was 81. Now it's down to 5.43. His last start was horrendous, but overall, he's been okay. And I wouldn't say he's been elite or great. There's been a couple really good starts, but there's also been a couple bad ones. So hopefully we'll be able to get the good Emerson here today. Leading off for the Twins, center fielder Byron Buxton. Batting second, DHing for Minnesota, Trevor Larnach. And batting third, left fielder Willie Castro. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. Let's go, baby. And we're going to have to hit at least 1 home run if we're going to win today. Again, 49% of our total runs for the year are on the home run. And if we don't hit any home runs, we typically don't win. It's still possible to have that monster inning where you get a couple RBIs and a hit and a hit and a hit back to back to back. And then you start mashing in 1 inning and get 4 to 5 runs. But, typically you got to get at least a home run or 2 to kind of set the tone. And then the ribbies will come after, unless we get the ribbies first and the home runs late. But anyway you dice it, we need home runs, and hopefully we'll get at least a couple today. Bare minimum 1, but hopefully we get more than that. But we do have a risk where it might be like very low scoring. I don't assume it will be like 1-0 or anything like that, but we'll see where it goes. Typically after a rain delay, Mariners aren't the greatest team. First pitch from Emerson Hancock to Byron Buxton, fouls off low and at the knees. 0-1 count. Emerson Hancock on the mound, Byron Buxton in the box. There we go. 5 more likes to hit 20. We're already at 15. Now we're at 17. 3 more likes to be able to get to 20. We're on a good start here. 0-1 pitch. In play. And Buxton grounds out to third. Throw to first. And Ben Williamson is money. There we go, baby. 2 Solano, 1 away. Good start. Good defense there by the Mariners. Next up, DHing Trevor Larnach. And I'm definitely excited about the trade deadline. Bo Naylor from the Guardians, Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles, and Eugenio Suarez possibly coming back to the Mariners. Could be a possibility. There's not going to be, a lot of big name guys, besides maybe Gino, based off name recognition. But, again, that would definitely hinder a little bit of the development of Ben Williamson. But if we could get Gino to come back, if that's the player that they end up getting at third, we definitely need a little help, in a certain positions at first and third. That could definitely be one of those key pieces that helps us catch up to the Stros. 1-1 pitch, fouled off. Right down the middle with that slider, 82 miles an hour by Emerson Hancock. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Hancock to Larnach. Let's go, baby. 1-2 pitch, and Larnach strikes out swinging. There we go. Nice job by M. And again, I don't expect a whole lot of strikeouts out of Emerson Hancock. I'm thinking 4 to 6. If he gets anything more than that, I would be shocked. Next up, Willie Castro. First pitch, high and inside, four-seam fastball. 94 miles an hour there by Emerson Hancock, 1-0 count. Hancock on the mound, Willie Castro in the box. The game was originally slated to be on MLB Network, but I'm not sure if they had another game on after that, if they were running like a doubleheader or a tripleheader. But I would assume MLB Network is still carrying the matchup. And then depending on if you live in Minnesota or in Seattle or Oregon, obviously you have Root Sports or the local TV affiliate. But if you don't live in Minnesota or Oregon or Washington, then I would assume MLB Network is where you're going to find it. .30 pitch. Low and away with that strike looking. 3 balls and 1 strike from Hancock to Castro. 3-1 pitch, and Castro with a walk. Come on, M, you got to be better, my guy. Next up, shortstop Carlos Correa. A very dangerous hitter. We have to definitely keep an eye on what he does. Buxton, and as well as Cody Clemens. He's had a very good series against the Mariners so far. Couple home runs in this series for Cody already. Bottom of the first inning with a runner at first and 2 outs. 0-0 Mariners and Twins after a 4-hour rain delay. First pitch from Hancock to Correa. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. Daniel in the building. What's good? In play, and Correa flies out to center. Julio is there, and that is the end of the first inning. 0-0 for the Mariners and the Twins. All right, let's go here to the top of the second inning and see who's up next for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners here in the top of the second in the 5-hole, right fielder Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. Batting second in the 6-hole, first baseman Donovan Solano. And batting third in the 7-hole, catching today, Mitch Garver. Looks like we're over 20 likes already. Good start. And then a quick update for anyone that has been working or busy. Rowdy Tellez was placed on the unconditional release waivers for the purpose of granting him his unconditional release. So there will not be any chance of Rowdy Tellez coming back to the Mariners in 2025. We appreciated what Rowdy did for us while he was here, especially against the Blue Jays. He was the Blue Jays killer. He was very, very good in Toronto and, helped us win a few different games throughout the year. But, we have to go with the hot hand, and Donovan Solano has stepped up. So I wish the best for Rowdy wherever he lands, and hopefully he'll be able to have success wherever he lands moving forward, not only in this year, but in 2026 and beyond. All right, Dom, let's go, baby. We need this, baby. Let's go. First pitch, high and away with that curveball. 1-0 count. Anna in the building. What's good? 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking on the line. 1 ball and 1 strike. From Woods Richardson to Dominic Canzone. 1-1 pitch, high and away. Curveball, 75 miles an hour by Woods Richardson. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. 2-1 pitch, Fouls that one off. Nice souvenir for that fan. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Simeon Woods Richardson to Dominic Canzone. Fire photo. Let's go, Dom. We need you. And again, we're going to need that unexpected hero possibly today. Yeah, I'm doing good. I mean, obviously, I was already up early today, ready to go, an hour before the game even was scheduled to start at 10 in the morning, and ended up, taking care of my pup and, watching the new season of The Bear that just dropped on FX. Amazing. It's season 4 already. And Jeremy is an amazing actor. Anything that he does turns into gold. I love Shameless with Lip, and he does a great job, obviously, in The Bear. So if you are looking for something new to watch after the stream, obviously The Bear would be a good choice. 2-2 pitch. High and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. 3-2 pitch. And Dominic Canzone strikes out looking. Nice pitch there by Simeon Woods Richardson. 1 away. Bringing that electricity on that side a little early. I see you, Simeon. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman Donovan Solano. Let's go, Donovan. We need you, baby. First pitch to Solano, takes a strike looking right down the middle from Richardson. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle. Richardson ahead of the count, 0-2 on Donovan Solano. Let's go, Donovan. We need you, baby. 0-2 pitch, low in the way. Curveball, 78 miles an hour by Richardson. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Again, magic number will be 5 numbers or 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. But again, with a rain delay, most of the time it's going to be 1 to 3 runs. So hopefully we'll be able to get to 3 and win this game 3-2 or 3-1. But it is going to be a grind. 1-2 pitch, high and away, fouled off. Nice souvenir there. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Richardson to Solano. Let's go, Donovan. One-two pitch, low and at the knees, low and away with that slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Richardson to Solano. Well, it's the second inning, and we had a 4-hour rain delay. So it doesn't matter if someone's got an ERA of 20. Again, just because someone's got a high ERA, you got to think baseball is about routine. And again, if you have a 4-hour rain delay, it don't matter if you got an ERA of 1 or 100. It's going to be tough. Solano flies out to right, 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, catcher Mitch Garver. First pitch, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. Let's go, Mitch. We need you, baby. And still, Mitch is one of the worst players on the roster, but based on the salary that is owed, we're going to stick with him for at least a little bit longer. But I would not be surprised if Harry Ford gets a call up, at some point after the All-Star break. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike from Richardson to Garver. 1-1 pitch, takes another strike looking, tries to paint the line and the corner and does. 4-seam fastball by Richardson, 93 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. We're knotted up at 0 here early in the afternoon. 1-2 pitch, and down goes Garver. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning. And again, we are going to probably have quite a few guys strike out looking and swinging. Anytime you end up having a rain delay of an hour or 4 hours like today, everyone's routine is, not what it should be. So again, it might be a little ugly here early on, but I do think that at some point, there will be a few individuals that will step up. And hopefully when they do, it'll be home runs, not just singles. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Minnesota Twins here in the bottom of the second. Next up for the Twins, right fielder in the 5-hole, Matt Wallner. Batting second, third baseman in the 6-hole, Brooks Lee. And batting third, the former Seattle Mariner first baseman, Ty France. Great start, 4 likes to 30. Let's go, baby. All day in the building. We're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. And for anyone that's just tuning in, like I mentioned just a few minutes ago, the Rowdy Tellez placed on unconditional release waivers for the purpose of granting him his unconditional release, which means that he will be free to sign with any team if that team wants him. And they can come to terms, based on a deal. So, again, he did a good job for us, just like Leody Taveras in that short amount of time that they were with the team. But at this point, having Dominic Canzone and Donovan Solano and, having these individuals that are on the roster now, it was the correct choice, and hopefully we can put it together. 0-0 here early on, Mariners and Twins. Yeah, I'm not really sure if this would be a game that I would be betting on, just because of the delays. And again, normally when we have a rain delay, just in past history, typically the Mariners don't win. Usually we get shut out or maybe we score 1. And most of the time after a rain delay, it's 3 runs or less total. So I don't know how this game is going to play out, and it's definitely not a pitcher's duel. Both pitchers, are, average at best. So you would assume if the bats can come alive, that they should be able to get to maybe 4 or 5 runs apiece. But, after a 4-hour rain delay, we'll see. Monkey Kung Fu in the building. What's good, brother? First pitch takes a strike looking from Hancock. Wallner, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Takes another strike looking. Paints the corner beautifully. Behind in the count, 0-2. Let's go, Emerson. Hancock on the mound, Matt Wallner in the box. 0-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle, 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour by Emerson Hancock. Still behind in the count, 0-2 here in the bottom of the second. 0-2 pitch, fouled off high and away. Change up 87 miles an hour there by Emerson Hancock. 0-0 here in the bottom of the second. And again, we had a 4-hour rain delay. This game was supposed to start at 10:10 a.m. Pacific, and I've just been on standby waiting for hours and hours and hours. And I figured once the thunderstorm passed that we would have a chance. They do have a good crew working, obviously there in Minnesota. So now we just got to hope that we don't have a 2-0 score again like yesterday. In play, and Wallner grounds out to second, throw to first. There we go, baby. 1 away. Next up, third baseman Brooks Lee. First pitch from Emerson Hancock, misses the plate by about 5 feet with that changeup. 1-0 count. Let's go, Em. We need you to be electric, baby. Yeah, I'm just going based on past, experiences when, because I do pretty much every game throughout the year. So, last time we had a rain delay, we played the White Sox and we didn't win that game and we didn't look very good. And, there's always a chance of a shutout, and getting a 0 off a rain delay, but hopefully not today. There we go. Nice little ground out there. We'll take that. Brooks Lee out, 2 away. Next up, the former Seattle Mariner first baseman Ty France. And you would think people in the South Side for Chicago and they're in Minnesota, like, why don't you have a roof? Have it be at least retractable like Seattle does at T-Mobile, especially with the kind of weather that they have in Chicago and Minnesota. Whoever came up with the designs for those ballparks, should have maybe reevaluated. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ty France. 1-1 pitch, low and away with that sinker. 2 balls and 1 strike from Hancock to France. We're here in the bottom of the second. 0-0, Mariners and Twins. 4-hour rain delay, hopefully no problem. And again, we won the first 2 games in the series, got shut out and embarrassed yesterday 2-0. Definitely got to get back off the schneid, and hopefully we can get some home runs in this matchup here today. 1-1 pitch, fouled off high and inside, tries to jam the hitter and does. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. 2-2 pitch, and that one is fouled off with the sinker there by Ty France. And I don't mind if Ty has a great game, just as long as he's not the reason when they win. So he can have a great game, but we want to make sure we limit the damage. France in the box. Emerson Hancock on the mound. Come on, Em, let's go. 2-2 pitch. And a nice single to left by Ty France. Not surprised. Nice job, Ty. I will always root for players that were former Mariners, as long as we still win the game. Next up is catcher Ryan Jeffers. First pitch from Hancock to Jeffers, takes a strike looking right in the line. 0-1 count. Nice sinker there by Emerson Hancock. We end up gaining another sub. Appreciate all the people that are watching all over the globe. 12 more now to get to 20,900. 112 to get to the magic number of 21,000. 0-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. Behind in the count 0-2 from Hancock to Jeffers. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Sweeper, 80 miles an hour there by Emerson Hancock. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Jeffers. Let's go, Em. And after this series ends, we're going to be matching up with the Texas Rangers, and hopefully we can, do what we need to do to get that done as well. 1-2 pitch, fouled off high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Hancock to Jeffers. Yeah. Well, obviously football, those players are accommodated for rain and want rain, and they want snow and sleet and hail. And, you can play good football, even when the weather is bad. But with baseball, it's a little bit of a different story. And obviously at T-Mobile, we have a retractable roof. And prior to that, at the Kingdome, it was completely closed. So we never had to worry, really about weather. And then now at, Safeco, now T-Mobile, if we have any type of storm running through, boom, hit the button, retractable roof, we're good to go. And Jeffers in play, lines out to right, and that is the end of the second inning. Let's go to the top of the third, and let's get on the fucking board. Let's go. Next up for the Mariners, sitting in the 8-hole, second baseman Cole Young. Batting second, third baseman, Big Ben Williamson. Let's go B-dubs. And batting third, 0-for-1, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And we really need J.P. to get a hit in one of his first 2 at-bats. Usually it's the first at-bat that's really key to kind of set the tone early. But he did go 0-for-1, but maybe this will be the at-bat where he can get on base. And I want to see a bunt drop down, maybe by JP. Someone needs to drop a bunt down. It's always good vibes only with bunts or drop down. You end up being safe 80% of the time, as long as you drop it down correctly. And again, a lot of times the pitcher or whoever ends up getting the baseball ends up making a wild throw or misjudges it and tries to barehand it and misses. So not really sure why teams don't bunt more often. There's no team in baseball that coaches defensively for bunting. And again, if you have been in a little bit of a slump, or want to, this team is playing checkers, we're playing chess, and you want to be one step ahead, drop the bunt down. Can't hurt. End of the second inning, we're knotted up here at 0. I want us to win, but I got to keep it real. I'm never going to be biased, on any stream, regardless if it's my team or someone else's team. We just call it right down the middle, but I hope Monkey Kung Fu we win. I don't want to lose like we did yesterday. Losing 2-0 is unbearable. And again, 4-hour rain delay stinks, but again, I do have faith that we will be able to get something done. But also remember, we might end up having a score that's between 1 and 3 runs. Typically, that's what happens after rain delays most of the time. May not be today, but I'm just going based off past history. First pitch to Cole Young, takes a strike looking right down the middle. Seam fastball, 89 miles an hour by Simeon Woods Richardson. 2-4 record with an ERA of 5.06. And then obviously we know Emerson Hancock 3-3 with a 5.43. Under normal, circumstances, it definitely would be like a 5-4 game or a 6-5 game, but something magical is going to happen, or we're going to have to see some fucking epic meltdowns by some of the pitchers, maybe for some good things to happen. 0-1 pitch. That one is fouled off low and away, behind in the count, 0-2. Greek Islands, I love it. 0-2 pitch, in play, and Young popped out to third, 1 away. Next up, third baseman, Big Ben Williamson. Let's go B-dubs. Let's see if Ben will drop a bunt down or maybe get a single towards third. Let's go. Top of the third inning, 0-0, Mariners and Twins. And I appreciate all of the individuals that we're getting all over the globe. It's not just people that live in Oregon and Washington. We get people, that are betting with parlays, fans of the Twins, fans of other teams that come through and show some love. 1-0 pitch. High and away, slider, 88 miles an hour by Richardson. 2 balls and no strikes from Richardson to Williamson. And again, we might need to get plunked. We might need to have a couple walks. We might need a couple stolen bags. We might need a couple bunts. But again, you're going to have to kind of pull out all the tricks here today, especially with the long rain delay. 2-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away by Ben Williamson. 2 balls and 1 strike from Richardson to Williamson. 2-1 pitch, and that one's fouled off high and away. 2-2 count to Big Ben. Come on, Ben, let's go. We know you can defend, but we need you to get that bat going. Let's go. 2-2 pitch, and strikes out looking. Questionable location there. I don't know about strike 3 on that one, but I guess that's where the ump is going to call the strike zone. Should have been called ball, in my opinion, but it is what it is. All right, 2 away. Next up, 0 for 1. And this has got to be the guy that sets the tone early and often at the top of the order. If JP can get it going, it rubs off on Julio and Cal. When JP doesn't get it going, it takes a lot longer for Julio and Cal to get going for whatever reason. First pitch, high and away. Good eye by JP, 1-0 count. Yeah, even saying Woods Richardson, as like a hyphenated name, usually it's just one particular last name, but I'll do my best. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low and in the zone, 4-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Woods Richardson to JP Crawford. But they do take some pretty good photos there in Minnesota, though. We've had a couple photos like this. Good photography work there. 1 ball and 1 strike from Woods Richardson to JP. 1-1 pitch, and that one is fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to JP Crawford. Come on, baby. Let's go. 1-2 pitch, fouled off again. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. We're in the top of the third. 0-0 Mariners and Twins. One-two pitch, and down goes JP, striking out. And again, we're going to see a lot of people striking out looking and swinging. Everyone's routine is fucked up after a 4-hour delay. And if you remember the White Sox game that had a long-ass delay like this, it's almost, an identical, kind of start where it was just kind of back and forth, where they're trying to, finish up the game. But again, hits were not aplenty in that particular matchup, and we ended up losing that game. So hopefully something good will happen. I don't know if that means we have to wait for the starters to go out. I mean, it's not like they're, throwing some crazy, 14K game, no hitter like we saw, from George Kirby at one point in the matchup. But, definitely weather can affect the matchup, not only physically, but mentally. All right, let's see who's up here in the bottom of the third for the Minnesota Twins. Next up for the Twins in the 9-hole, Roger Clemens' son, who's actually had a good series against us with a couple dingers, Cody Clemens. Don't get any fucking ideas today, though, Cody. Batting second, center fielder Byron Buxton, 0 for 1, but is having an all-star type of year. Great to see him healthy. I don't got to be a Twins fan or a Buxton fan to recognize that. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, DHing Trevor Larnach. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Here we go, 30 likes. Let's get to that 50 number. And we should be able to get a good spike, on viewership as well, because I know a lot of people are having a hard time being able to watch the game. And I don't even know if MLB Network has another game going on, because this game was supposed to be on at 10. I'm not sure if it was a doubleheader or a triple-header today. So if there was another game that was on, they're not going to televise, that in certain areas. So, we'll get more people here. 0-1 pitch. High and away with that sinker, 94 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Hancock to Clemens. Still looking for that first dono. We'll get it. Bottom of the third inning, 0-0 Mariners and Twins. Hancock on the mound. Cody Clemens in the box. 1-1 pitch and takes a strike looking. This should have been called ball. And he's being very generous with this strike zone. As long as he's going to do it for both teams, I'm fine with it. I don't want to see any favoritism, but this ump is a little sketch to start off the matchup, but we'll see how this ends up turning out. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Still knotted up at 0. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Hancock to Clemens. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. And that is strike 3 there for Emerson Hancock, my boy. There we go. And I'm hoping for 4 to 6 Ks for Emerson Hancock. And again, if he can get that, we should be on our way. Nice punch out. Next up is 0 for 1, Byron Buxton. Come on, Ems. Let's go, baby. First pitch from Hancock to Buxton. Takes a strike looking. 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Fouled off right down the middle. Behind in the count 0-2 to Byron Buxton. Let's go, Em. We need you. You are absolutely horrendous in your last start. You've been okay, for the year, filling in pretty much for Bryce Miller, who's been injured for a chunk of the year. And when he was playing, when he was healthy, he wasn't good. So, I'm not sure if Bryce Miller will be a lost cause. And I don't know if George Kirby, it feels like we're going to have like one good game after every 5 starts out of him. And Buxton popped out to second. 2 away. Batting third, DHing in the 2-hole, 0 for 1 with a K, Trevor Larnach. First pitch from Emerson Hancock. Takes a strike looking outside of the zone, but called strike. 0-1 count. So far in these first 3 innings, I've seen at least 5 or 6 questionable, pitches that probably should have been called ball, but called strike for both teams. So, but it hasn't affected the score just yet. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Change up 86 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. 0-0 here in the bottom of the third. Larnach in play on the 1-1 pitch and gets a single to right. Nice hit there by Trevor. Next up is left fielder Willie Castro. And the way that this series has gone, they're at T-Mobile. The Twins won game 1 at the beginning of the year 12-6. Mariners won game 2 5-4 and 11. And then we won game 3 2-1 on June 1st. And then we won the first game in the series 11-2, 6-5 in game number 2. And then yesterday we lost 2-0. So obviously we know how to score runs against this team, but a little bit different after a major rain delay. 0-1 pitch, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Hancock to Castro. Let's go, Em. We need you, baby. 1-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Hancock on the mound, Castro in the box. I mean, both offenses aren't going to do a whole lot. I mean, just go and do your history. Anytime there's a rain delay of 4 hours, you know, you're not going to score 9 fucking runs. You know, it doesn't matter if the pitcher had an ERA of 15. The score would still be 0-0. You know, that's just how it goes. You know, again, baseball is mental, not just physical. And again, when you have a certain type of routine and then all of a sudden you wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., getting ready for batting practice and going over the game plan, and then you have this 4-hour rain delay as there's out number 3. You know, we could have a pitcher with a 1 ERA or a pitcher with a 15. But again, once you have a rain delay, you're not going to be mashing the ball normally right out of the gates or maybe even at all. You know, again, the last time this happened to the Mariners, we were on the south side and we played the White Sox and we had a 2 to 3 hour rain delay and we didn't win that game either. And it was very low scoring, like 1-0, 2-0. So, you know, if it was a normal circumstance, you know, with no rain delay, yeah, you know, you would think that, you know, at some point someone's going to get something going with a home run or, you know, a couple ribbies. But, you know, every baseball game is different. You never know really what you're going to get. And, you know, we haven't had an epic meltdown by a pitcher just yet. But after the starters go out, maybe that's when the game will open up. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 0 for 0 with a base on ball, DHing big dumper Cal Raleigh. And batting third, 0 for 1, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Let's go to the top of the 4th inning. We're still knotted up at 0. Gained another sub. 11 more to go. And we're at 20,900, 111 to get to 21,000. Let's go. Let's go, J-Rod. He's had a terrible June. You know, he had 2 ribbies for the whole month just a couple days ago, and then ended up having a 2-run jack, and then ended up getting an RBI later in that game and got 4 in a single game. But again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and hopefully we can get something good out of Julio Rodriguez today. Let's go, J-Rod. Trident's up. I mean, at this point, too, as you can tell, you know, with everyone kind of out of their normal rhythm, you know, you have to do something extra to win. Bunt, you know, hopefully a couple guys get walked, a couple guys get hit by a pitch but not injured. You know, you're going to have to steal bags. You're going to have to play small ball to win this game. First pitch, and Julio swings, lined out, throw to first, 1 away. Come on, Julio, wasted at bat. Learn, J-Rod, learn. Next up, DHing, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. First pitch, right down the middle. Nope. A little bit outside, fouled off with that splitter. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low and at the knees with the 4-seam fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Richardson to big dumper. Leading the MLB still with 32 home runs. He can do it from the left side. He can do it from the right side. He can do it any way that you want. Homers aplenty. 2-1 pitch. That one is fouled off. Right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Trident's up. We need you. Top of the 4th inning with nobody on and 1 out. And again, magic number normally is 5 runs, 7 in a game like this. I think the magic number will be 3 runs and maybe 5 hits. I know that sounds a little ridiculous for a baseball game, but once you have a rain delay like this, you know, that might be the magic number. And hell, it'd end up being a 1-0 final. That wouldn't shock me either. You know, I've seen it before. 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. It might end up being, you know, that low scoring. 2-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count now is full from Richardson to big dumper. 3-2 pitch. That one's fouled off right down the middle. Keep working the count, Cal. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, and 1 out. Big dumper in the box, and Simeon Woods Richardson on the mound. 2-4 record with an ERA of 5.06, but again, everyone is having a hard time getting even basic hits after this 4-hour rain delay. You got to be really mentally strong to be able to, be on your game, especially with a delay like that. 3-2 pitch. That one's fouled off again. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour by Woods Richardson. Count still full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, and 1 out. Come on, Cal. Cal had a 10-pitch walk at his first at-bat, and he's projecting for that to happen possibly again. 3 consecutive foul balls in a row for Cal, just like at his first at-bat. Come on, Cal. No strikeouts. Looking or swinging. Singles, doubles, or solo dingers, or walks. Top of the 4th inning. We're still knotted up at 0. 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Got baited there by Woods Richardson. Punched him out. 2 away. Nice punch out there by Simeon Woods Richardson. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. First pitch, high and inside, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike from Richardson to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. 1-1 pitch, takes another strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Let's go, Randy. Somebody's got to be a hero. Will it be you? Judah in the building. What's good, brother? One-two pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Richardson to Randy Arozarena. Two-one pitch, fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. And again, a lot of individuals are not being able to watch the game on MLB Network because they have the Braves and Mets slated to start in about 50 minutes, and they didn't want to overlap. So that's the problem when you end up having an MLB Network game that was supposed to start at 10:10 a.m. And then if it gets a 4-hour rain delay, they're going to stick to their original schedule. In play, go, 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 Randy. Run like the cops are chasing you. There we go. Nice double by Randy Arozarena, running like the cops are on his ass, and I love it, baby. Let's go. Nice effort by Randy. Nice double there with 2 outs. Next up, right fielder Dominic Canzone. Could this be the inning where we fucking get on the board? Let's go. 0 for 1 with a K. First pitch, low and away with a 4-seam fastball, 1-0 count. Let's go, Dom. And again, in a game like this, we need home runs, but we don't necessarily need a lot of them. But, a nice RBI double or a 2-run jack would be great. And, 1 single run might be the difference between winning and losing today. Let's go. First pitch, low and away to Dom, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch in play. And grounds out to second. We leave Randy stranded, unfortunately. But at least we got a hit. And sometimes you're going to have to build up, to the hits, especially in a game like this. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. We're still knotted up at 0. And again, it may end up coming down to just 1 big hit that determines the winner. 2 hits for the Twins, 1 for the Mariners. But again, I feel like everyone's routine has, been affected with the 4-hour rain delay. And hopefully we can find a way to squeak this one out and also win the series. 3 games out of 4. Otherwise, we're going to split 2-2. All right, next up, shortstop, Carlos Correa. 0 for 1. Batting second, right fielder Matt Wallner. 0 for 1. And batting third baseman Brooks Lee. 0 for 1. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Yes, they did. Yeah, but for anyone that obviously is, shocked that there's no runs on the board and barely any hits, again, it shows, you're not paying attention. Anytime there's a rain delay on any game, you're not going to be, mashing home runs right out of the gates. Typically, could it happen where you end up having a rain delay of 3 or 4 hours and you get 5 runs in the first inning? Of course, anything can happen in baseball. But if you go back and look at stats, which I do, and analytics, most of the time, I don't want to say you have a garbage game, but it ends up being, maybe not to what people expect in a normal game, even with guys with an ERA of 5 on both sides. That doesn't mean that, they're going to end up giving up 5 or 10 runs in the game. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Hancock to Correa. And I think, most people don't know that there was a rain delay in this game. And again, it wasn't just a 20-minute delay. It was 4 hours. So everyone's routine is fucked. And, this doesn't shock me one bit. Same thing happened when we played in the South Side against the White Sox. And we ended up losing 1-0, 2-0. So, I'm hoping that it'll be a little bit different from that South Side White Sox game on the road where we lost after a big rain delay. But this is what typically happens. 2-0 pitch, in play, and Correa grounds out to third. Throw to first, 1 away. Down goes Correa. Next up, 0 for 1, right fielder Matt Wallner. First pitch, in play. Wallner grounds out to second. Throw to first, 2 away. And Emerson Hancock is doing a much better job on this start. Actually using this rain delay to his advantage. Same thing with Simeon Woods Richardson. If anything, it's benefiting the pitchers tremendously. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Hancock to Lee. But anyone that does parlays or anyone that's betting, always make sure that you're checking, all of the details in the matchup. And especially if there ends up being a rain delay and then the game actually happens, make sure you're adjusting accordingly, based off that. I'm always looking at every single advantage and every single stat when it comes to the MLB. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Hancock to Lee. Let's go, Emerson. 2-1 pitch, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike from Hancock to Lee. But one thing is for sure, both ERAs for both pitchers should go down. And for both of these guys, they're not really the greatest on each team. They're kind of filler in guys and whatnot. So, anytime you can have a pitcher that might be one of the worst as the starters, that can take advantage of a rain delay and get your ERA down, this is the game. 3-1 pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Brooks Lee. 3-2 pitch, and he fucking walked him. Lee to first. But overall, so far so good. Next up, the former Seattle Mariner first baseman, Ty France. I always root for Ty and Eugenio Suarez, being on the Twins now, obviously, and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And there is rumors that maybe Gino will come back to the Mariners. I would be on board with that. I would love to have Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles and Bo Naylor from the Guardians. If we can end up grabbing one of those guys or more than one of those guys, again, we have some holes and depth issues at first and third. And again, we also could use a couple more bullpen guys, but bullpen has been number 1 in MLB since June 11th. Really, the only bugaboo has been Gabe Spire, and he used to be our number 2, but now he might be number 3 or number 4. But bullpen is good. Hitting is good typically. Starting pitching a little shaky, but today doing their job. First pitch, high and inside to Ty France, 1-0 count. France in the box. Emerson Hancock on the mound. Bottom of the 4th with a runner at first and 2 outs. We're knotted up at 0. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And France gets hit by a pitch, and it's not just him on the Mariners, it's him on other teams as well. And hopefully Ty is okay. Now you got runners at first and second and 2 outs. All right, this is the biggest threat that the Twins or the Mariners have had up to this point. We have to get Jeffers out, or they may score a run, which would actually be good for the game, so at least we get something going. But we want to be able to get that first run scored, but we'll see where it goes. Hopefully Emerson Hancock can shut this down. First pitch, Tries to get ahead of the count, throw through the hitter, right down the middle, sinker, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Good pitch there. Yeah, and it wasn't a minor rain delay like, 15 minutes, no big deal. It was like they were thinking about calling the game off, and they had thunderstorms, and it was fucking pouring. And again, 4-hour plus rain delays. So it was like literally on the brink of possibly getting canceled. So 0-1 pitch. That one's fouled off. Behind in the count now, 0-2 from Hancock to Jeffers. But that's why I'll educate people here on the channel, and I'll give you all the tools that you need to be able to pick winners, be a little bit more confident on what's going on with no bias. And again, helping people try to be able to win some money and make the correct picks. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Hancock to Jeffers. Oh, yeah, see? And that's why always all the details. And again, people that bet, typically don't do the research. They have the money, they have the budget, and they just bet, But again, to be an effective bettor, as Jeffers flies out to right and we get out of the inning, nice job by Emerson Hancock on, runners at first and second. They were threatening there, but we shut it down real quick. But, if you want to be an effective money maker, you have to look at all the details, grass, artificial turf, morning, afternoon, night, what starters are injured, are they on a nice heater on a run, or have they been slumping? And again, even with all of the extra information that you gain, still doesn't mean that you're going to win, but it definitely puts you in a better position to win if you do the research. The more research that you do, the better chances you have to win. If you don't do any research, that's just like pretty much throwing a $20 bill at the wall and hoping that it sticks and turns into a hundo. Every once in a while it will stick, but a lot of the times it will fall right to the floor, right into the toilet, into someone else's hands. That's facts. That's a tough one there for you, Judah. And I imagine if you would have known that information, you wouldn't have bet on that particular matchup. Or would have flipped and bet the other way. So, Chief in the building, my boy. $10 holla. He gets us on the board. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for a photo or two, my guy. I've missed you. How are you? We've missed you, my guy. Go to the top of the 5th inning. We're still knotted up at 0. Good defense by the Mariners and good pitching by Emerson Hancock so far. Next up, 0 for 1, first baseman Donovan Solano. Come on, Don. Batting second, catching for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. And batting third, second baseman Cole Young. Josh in the building. What's good? And then when Saturday comes around, they have a WWE PLE that's obviously overseas in Saudi Arabia that starts at like 10 a.m. So I assume that'll end around the time the Mariners play at 1. So I don't know if I'm going to do both events on that day. It kind of depends on the support that we get with the WWE stream first for Night of Champions. But I'm probably going to try to do both. And normally if I have a WWE PLE, normally I'll just do that and I'll just take the Mariner game off. But there looks like there might be a window where I might be able to do both. But it really depends on how long that WWE event goes. If it goes over 3 hours, then it's going to cut into the start of the other game. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss by Solano behind in the count. 0-2. Yes, Brooks Lee is playing. Simeon Woods Richardson on the mound. Solano in the box. There we go. 0-2 pitch. And lined out to left. Connected pretty hard on that base hit, but good defense there by the Twins. 1 away. Next up, Mitch Garver. First pitch, low and at the knees with the slider. 1-0 count. 2-4 record, ERA of 5.06 for Simeon Woods Richardson. Fire photo here. But again, right now with the rain delay, I feel like everyone's mindset is kind of thinking, maybe not about the game itself, probably thinking about, okay, what's for dinner? Who's the next opponent? We've been waiting all day. The game should have been over hours ago, and sometimes, players and people are going to go, through the motions. And that's kind of what we're seeing so far. Everyone is kind of sleepwalking so far today. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Richardson to Garver. Yeah, Woods is at 6 Ks, and then Hancock's only at 2. I projected Hancock to get 4 to 6. At least that's what I was hoping for. 1-1 pitch in play. Go Garver, run. There you go. Garver's slow ass getting to second. Nice double by Mitch. Here we go, baby. Now we got to be able to see if we can knock someone in. Now we got a runner at second with 1 out. Cole Young in the box on deck. Big Ben Williamson. Is this the inning where we get 1? Because that could be the difference between winning and losing today. I've been pretty good. How about you? Severe thunderstorms in your area. Stay safe out there. I know you're excited about the NFL and whatnot. You know, a couple months away. NBA draft was yesterday. Blazers picked up the Chinese Jokic. So we'll see how that pans out. Obviously, you got to get rid of Ayton first. We have a lot of centers on the roster, but you know, a lot of the names are not recognizable in the NBA draft, even if you watch a lot of college hoops. You know, but we'll see. You know, definitely we'll go out of my way to watch a little Cooper Flag. First pitch, low and away from Richardson to Young, 1-0 count. But Richardson getting to 8 or 9 Ks, it might be possible. Let me look at his pitch count. He's already at 79 pitches though, so but he could do it. There is a possibility. It'll be close, somewhere between 7 and 9 realistically, but don't know about 8 or 9 for sure. Top of the 5th inning, runner at second. 1-0 pitch in play, and Young flies out to left. 2 away. All right, Big Ben. Got to do something here, and he's not a home run hitter. He's a singles hitter. And again, hopefully we'll get, a few guys to bunt, especially in a game like this. That could be the difference. But hopefully Ben can connect and get an RBI single, and we can get a 1-0 lead. Let's go, Big Ben. First pitch, low and at the knees, 4-seam fastball, 1-0 count. Anything else new in your life, Chief? Anything new you've been watching? I just started watching The Bear. Season 4 debuted last night, the whole entire season. I love it when Hulu drops a show and you get all 8, 10, 12 episodes instead of having to watch an episode a week and then having to, check back. 1-0 pitch in play, and Williamson grounds out to the shortstop, throw to first, and that is the end of the Mariners in the top of the 5th. I mean, we are starting to see a few more hits in the last couple innings, but we're still not able to get anybody to come home just yet. And hopefully we will before this matchup is over. We want to win this series 3 games out of 4, especially with the Rangers on deck. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning and see who's up next for the Twins. Next up for the Twins, 0 for 1 with a K, Roger Clemens' son, Cody Clemens. He's got a couple dingers in the series and has actually played pretty fucking well for the Minnesota Twins against Seattle. Batting second, center fielder, 0 for 2, Byron Buxton. Numbers are very all-star-ish. Don't know if he'll make it, but definitely having a pretty damn good year for a player that's normally injury-prone. Nice job by Byron this year. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a K, DHing Trevor Larnach. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. I actually like it. I know that there's a lot of people out there because I always read the comments, and there's a lot of people that are racist, and I try to tell people, listen, regardless on, your stance, there's always going to be racism and sexism. But again, if there's a couple billion Asians that are out there, including myself, me being half, is it possible that maybe 1 or 2 out of a couple billion could actually be good at basketball? And not everyone's going to be fucking Yao Ming. Some people are going to be like Jeremy Lin, and they're just going to be like role players. But again, if you actually watch the highlight reel, of the Chinese Jokic, for the draft pick, there's potential there. But again, he's only going to be a role player, and he's going to be coming off the bench. Now, if he gets a lot of playing time, he could end up getting better quicker. But if he ends up getting limited playing time, it could be hit or miss. But I actually kind of like the pick, even though he was projected for a 2nd-round pick. So they kind of reached a little bit after having their original pick and then trading it away and then picking him a little early. But, you know this in the NFL draft as well. You like a guy, you like a guy. And sometimes a 2nd-round guy, will go in the 1st round, and sometimes vice versa. So we'll see where it goes. But
other than Cooper Flagg and Kneppel and a few others, not a lot of recognizable names, even if you're a college basketball, fanatic. So 1-0 pitch to Clemens in play and flied out to left. Randy Arozarena and Julio out there in the no-fly zone. 1 away. Yeah. So they actually had the ping pong ball was a little while back, but the actual draft of the players was last night. First pitch from Hancock to Buxton. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Behind in the count now, 0-2 to Buxton. Come on, Em. Let's keep it going, baby. Bottom of the 5th inning. Nobody scoring just yet. We're knotted up at 0. And again, I think that if we would have started on time at 10 in the morning, we would be sitting probably at maybe a 3-1 score or 2-0 score, something of that nature. 0-2 pitch, low and away with the changeup by Hancock. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. 8 more likes to 50. Let's get there. And we're at 10, 90 to go. And I kind of find it funny that people on social media that try to be, all outraged and, pissed at certain picks. Like, you don't even know who that guy is. Like, stop fronting online, for your followers on like Instagram or Facebook or X. Like, even if you're watching a lot and you're looking at the names on there, you're going to get more unrecognizable names in the NBA draft, just like in the MLB draft, as well as the NHL draft. Really, the only one that people are really going to know, is NFL, based on college football and, people doing research and whatnot. But you don't really see a lot of people deep diving on the NBA side. You're going to get plenty of European and Asian and foreign country picks as well. I highly doubt people are going out of their way to wake up at 2 in the morning to watch a Slovenian all-star, in another country. So we'll see how it all pans out. But, on paper, the draft looked a little weak, but there should be a couple gems in there like Cooper Flagg. 2-2 pitch. That one's fouled off by Buxton. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Hancock to Buxton. But the NBA is, the worst, obviously out of the 4 major sports, based on passion and effort, and hopefully it'll get better, but it'll never be as good as it was in the 80s or 90s. Yeah, the people that liked what they saw, they were calling him the Chinese Jokic. The haters were calling him the Timu Jokic. So, but definitely you can tell the people that are racist and haters either toward Chinese or Asians or people that don't recognize the talent, the highlight package. Not everyone is a good evaluator of film, and it shows. But based on the stuff that I saw, he looks like a more athletic Yao Ming, about 5 or 6 inches shorter. So, and Hancock with the walk. Buxton to first. And I'm not saying that he's going to be the next Yao Ming, but he's got, some potential, it looks like. They wouldn't have picked him that high if they didn't think so. Next up, 1 for 2 with a K, DHing Trevor Larnach. And again, we just got to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. And then they traded Simons away for Drew Holiday to get, obviously, Holiday's money off the books. And, I'm not too thrilled about that. I knew Simons was going to leave, but obviously they now have a big 3 with Tatum, Brown, and Simons. So Celtics should be fun to watch, and obviously the Blazers are, always going to be kind of at the bottom, looking up, but maybe in a couple years they can get an 8 seed and we'll see what they can do. First pitch from Hancock to Larnach, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Yeah, but you can, like I said, reading the comments, you could definitely tell who the people were that were racist or the people that were, not wanting to give credit where credit's due. And Buxton picked off. Oh, runner is out. There we go. Hancock, look at that defense by M. Here we go. They starting to threaten, and we picked him off, baby. Nice job. Yeah, I hope he pans out too, but I don't expect him to be like the starter because we already have Donovan Clingan, but it could end up being another guy that could help, the team win. And it really hasn't been the same since Damian Lillard left. So I have proper expectations, First pitch from Trevor Larnach. in there for a strike. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and inside at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Hancock to Larnach. Any new news on the Chiefs? I mean, I saw some stuff with the tight end stuff, with all the celebrations of the tight ends, and they had a few musical artists and whatnot in that event, but 2-1 pitch. Uh-oh, back, see ya! And there's the first runs of the score on the board. 2-run jack, 2-0 Twins. And at some point, we were hoping that it would open up, and there it is. And now you got 0 for 1 with a base on ball left fielder, Willie Castro. And hopefully Hancock doesn't give up any more the rest of his time up on the mound. And again, anytime you end up having, a big rain delay like today, 4 hours, the game was supposed to start at 10:10 a.m., started at 2:30 Pacific after a big thunderstorm. We might lose this game now. I mean, again, it's not looking too good, but, hopefully someone on the Mariners can help us to, cut into this lead. First pitch from Hancock to Castro, fouled off, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Big swing and a miss there by Castro, behind in the count, 0-2. Hancock on the mound, Castro in the box. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Hancock to Castro. Yeah, they got a lot of centers on the roster right now and whatnot. I believe 5, but not all of them are going to be there under contract next year. We'll have like 1 or 2. So, and Klingon is a good part of the future, but yeah, we'll see how it ends up going. But again, the highlight package that I watched last night was pretty impressive. And again, I know he's going against some of the smaller, Chinese national team, but he definitely had some Yao Ming type of moves. But just imagine Yao Ming like 6 inches shorter. Definitely there's some athleticism there. 7-1, so I'll take that. And Castro, I hit. Come on, Emerson. Emerson's starting to lose his composure a little bit out there. Next up, 0 for 2, shortstop, the former Astro, Carlos Correa. Bottom of the 5th with a runner at first and 1 out. 2-0 lead. Finally, they get on the board with a Trevor Larnach homer, 421 feet with Buxton on board. And hopefully we'll be able to recover from that. But again, same type of situation kind of happened when we played on the south side against the White Sox with the rain delay. But hopefully this will be a little different. First pitch in play, and Correa lines out to center. Julio is there, 2 away. Nice job, J-Rod. Next up for the Twins, 0 for 2 with a runner at first and 2 outs, right fielder Matt Wallner. Got to get out of this inning with just giving up those 2 runs. Yeah, something's got to change, with the team. And obviously anytime you end up having drama with, a player like Devers, even though he's not there, that wasn't really great timing, based on how the team was playing. So, but hopefully after the All-Star break, things will get a little bit better. But I would imagine, Judah, the Red Sox are going to be sellers, not buyers, since their record isn't the greatest. And, we'll see if some of their players end up getting moved, like Duran and a couple others. I know for your sake, you don't want him to go, but we'll see if they end up moving some pieces. First pitch from Hancock to Wallner, fouled off, 0-1 count. But I know the Mariners are linked to Eugenio Suarez coming back to Seattle, Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles, and Bo Naylor from the Guardians. And I would definitely take all 3 of those guys in Seattle. We definitely need a little extra pop in our bats, and we could get that with those 3 guys. Bottom of the 5th inning with a runner at first and 2 outs, 2-0, Twins lead. Larnach with a 2-run jack just momentarily. And again, not ideal, but again, hopefully the Mariners will be able to get at least 1 to cut into the lead, and so we can chip away. Time is called. Chief with another winner. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you so much for your support. Now we're at 20, 80 to go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do photo-wise, if anything, and I got you. We have a little bit of a delay here in the matchup with the umps here. Bottom of the fifth, runner at first, 2-0 Twins. And again, not looking very good here, and I was hoping that we could win 3 out of 4, against Minnesota. We won the first 2, but lost game 3, 2-0, and the last thing that we needed is a 4-hour rain delay, and we might end up losing 2-0 again. If they could definitely score more than 2, but I'm hoping someone on the Mariners will be able to light it up. So. But I would say probably 95% of the time when there's a delay, the Mariners lose. But a lot of teams, will get into that type of mode as well. Okay, come on, umps. Let's get this going. This delay is lasting forever. I mean, we had a pretty long delay when we ended up seeing an ump get, dehydrated, and they had to get him water and, make sure that everything was okay on his end. But still waiting for the game to get back into action here. All right, Mitch Garver had to leave the game, so that's why we're having an issue here. Injury delay. All right, now they got Cal catching instead of DHing now. All right, we're back into the action finally. 0-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking. Behind in the count now, 0-2 from Hancock to Wallner. It's going to be tough. I'm never biased and whatnot, but if I had to be honest about it, it doesn't look like we're going to win this game. And Castro with a disengagement. God, everything's just going downhill here. All right, next up is Matt Wallner. And Wallner pops out to third to Ben Williamson, and that is out number 3. All right, that was a long fucking inning, especially with the injury. All right, let's get back into the top of the 6th, and we'll see who's up next here for the Mariners. I'm going to see if there's an update right now. So Garver ended up getting injured because he got hit in the jaw with a foul tip, and then Cal is coming in to catch, and we lose our DH. So what does that mean? That Emerson Hancock has to bat? Golly. I haven't seen that before, where we're going to lose our DH because Garver ended up getting hit in the jaw, but that's what happened. Yeah, but 2-0 actually is a lot when you are on a rain delay. So, and now we got Brock Stewart coming in for Simeon Woods Richardson. In a normal game, 2-0 is nothing. But in a game like this, where everyone's routine has been fucked, with a 4-hour rain delay, it actually feels like we're down 4-0 rather than 2-0. It's going to be really tough, and every time we end up having this type of situation, usually we don't win, but we'll see. And JP Crawford in the box. I like that. Singles on a ground ball to left fielder Willie Castro. There we go, baby. I like that. Crawford at first. Finally, JP getting on base, and hopefully we'll be able to bring him home. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. First pitch to Julio Rodriguez, fouled off, high and inside, 0-1 count. (2-0) Minnesota. Brock Stewart on the mound. Julio Rodriguez in the box. Trevor Larnach with a 2-run jack in the 5th, and that's where we're sitting right now with a 2-0 Minnesota lead. 0-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Julio behind in the count, 0-2 from Brock Stewart. Come on, Julio. I'm actually surprised we ended up having even a home run, if I'm honest, by either team within these first 6 innings. That was a little shocking. 0-2 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Brock Stewart to Julio Rodriguez. Yeah, and depending on how bad Garver is hurt, maybe we get Harry Ford on a call-up sooner than later. But they don't want to ruin his potential trade value if they call him up too early, as Julio strikes out swinging. Fucking A. Julio doing the same fucking shit over and over and over. But again, if we bring up Harry Ford, we want him to be an everyday player. Otherwise, if he ends up not living up to the expectations, his trade value goes down the shitter. So I want Harry Ford to be on the team. I don't want to trade him away, but we'll have to see on Mitch's progress, obviously, after this game is over. Next up is big dumper Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. We need you. First pitch, low and away with the changeup. Misses the plate by about 3 feet. 1-0 count. Stewart on the mound, big dumper in the box. Let's go, Cal. Left side, right side, strong side. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's get it. With 1 swing, it can get to 2-2. And Raleigh pops out to second baseman Cody Clemens in foul territory. 2 away. Fuck. All right, next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. First pitch, takes a strike, looking high and inside. 0-1 count. Ball in the dirt with that sinker. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. Brock Stewart on the mound. Randy Arozarena in the box. Simeon Woods Richardson day is done. 1-1 pitch, 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Stewart to Randy Arozarena. Come on, baby. Come on, Randy. Two 1 pitch, low and away, sinker, 96 miles an hour, 3 balls and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Come on, baby. 3-1 pitch, takes a strike, looking right down the middle. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs with a runner at first. Come on, baby. And big swing and a miss. Down goes Randy Arozarena. And that is out number 3. Brutal. All right, see who's up next here for the Twins here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 Minnesota lead. Next up, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, third baseman Brooks Lee. Batting second, 1 for 1, first baseman Ty France. And batting third, 0 for 2, catcher Ryan Jeffers. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. I don't know where we're at on the likes because we haven't posted it in the chat lately, but hopefully we can get all day or Captain to give us an update on that. And we're at 20 on the dono train, 80 to go. Well, they're going to have Cal catch, and we have Garver, obviously, but now is injured, but we might have Harry Ford get a call up. Looks like we just hit 50. All right, so let's see if we can get to 60 before the game ends, which is definitely reasonable. We might actually be able to get to 70 or 80 before the game ends, but we're at 50, so we hit that number. And yeah, it's not points, it's runs. Wrong sport, my guy. No points are scored here. This isn't basketball. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-0 Minnesota. And we got Zach Pop coming in for Emerson Hancock. All right, so take a quick look at the stats of the pitchers. So Hancock went 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks, 84 pitches, 53 strikes. Not ideal, but not terrible. And then was Simeon Woods Richardson, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 Ks. And hopefully we get a good version of Zach Pop here today. Otherwise, this could get ugly. And first pitch, back. See ya. Brooks Lee homers on a fly ball to right field. 3-0 Minnesota. Brutal. Yeah, we're not coming back. Not in a game like this. And, normally I'll be, I keep it real. I don't want the team to lose, but again, bats are starting to come alive here for Minnesota, and Mariners are just not good in rain delays. And again, we're having another one of those type of games, which is a damn shame, because again, we were doing so well in the first 2 games and shit the bed, 2-0 yesterday, and now we're down 3. I mean, really the only way the Mariners come back is if they have an epic meltdown with their pitchers the rest of the way. And I'm not sure if I see that happening, but that'll be the only way. First pitch from Pop to France. Takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. And not really the individual that you would want to start in the game. Why would you have Zach Pop come in the game to try to win it for you? That wouldn't have been the person that I would have put in right away. So, but that's Dan Wilson for you. First pitch to Ty France. Takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Right down the middle, the Ty France from Zach Pop, behind in the count, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes from Pop to France. I know it's not over, again, I have to look at stats, analytics, 0-2 pitch, and France grounds out softly to Zach Pop. Donovan Solano is there, 1 away. I mean, if we get the epic meltdown by their pitchers, we will be able to come back. But that's a big if, depending on who they play. Next up is Ryan Jeffers. First pitch, low and away, 1-0 count. Yeah, I mean, also, too, it would have been nice if the fucking Phillies would have scored more than 1 run in fucking 3 games against the Astros. That didn't help us out at all. So, I mean, it's one thing if we struggle, then they struggle. But, of course, we struggle and then they keep winning. So, 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone, paints the corner beautifully. 1 ball and 1 strike from Pop to Jeffers. We're at 53, 7 more likes to hit 60. Bottom of the 6th, 3-0 Minnesota. Pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Pop to Jeffers. No, Rowdy's already off the team. They did that today, so Rowdy cannot come back to the team. So, but again, with Garver getting hit in the jaw, maybe Harry Ford will get the call up, but we'll see how serious the injury is for Mitch Garver or not. If it's just like out for this game or out for an extended period of time. 2-2 pitch, low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Pop to Jeffers. 3-2 pitch, and that is a walk. Shows you how important the bullpen really is. If you don't have a good one, or if you bring someone in and they're not good, it can really alter the outcome of a game very quickly. And Jeffers makes his way to first with that walk. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K. Having a very productive series against the M's. Second baseman Cody Clemens, Roger Clemens' son. First pitch, high and away with that sinker, 1-0 count. And Rowdy Tellez was placed on the unconditional release waivers, so he can actually get picked up by somebody. So no chance of Rowdy coming back, and probably not Leote either. 1-0 pitch, fouls one off right down the middle, behind in the count. 1 ball and 1 strike from Pop to Clemens. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees with that slider. 2 balls and 1 strike from Pop to Clemens. Two-one pitch, high and inside, cutter, 93 miles an hour. 3 balls and 1 strike from Pop to Clemens. 3-1 pitch and another walk. Yeah, but again, this is not the, ideally the person that you wanted to come in after the starter, but again, when you're down 2-0, it's not like we're going to bring in Brash, our number 1, or our number 2 in Bizzardo. So, again, sometimes you have to reach for one of the others, like the Legomina or the Pop or, the Trent Thorntons and whatnot. And a lot of times those guys are very, very shaky, and that's what you're getting here. But again, Dan Wilson needs to realize if you bring in someone shaky, instead of the game staying 2-0 and giving your team a chance, it's going to go 3-0, 4-0, potentially 5-0. And if it gets to that point, we probably can't even come back from 2-0. But now being at 3, it feels a little hopeless, and then they may end up getting a couple more. But, again, bullpen is really important, and Pop would have been one of the last guys that I would have chose to come in right away. Now, if you wanted to use Pop later, like have him pitch, a couple batters in the 7th or 8th, fine, but not the first guy after the starter. That's Dan Wilson. Runners at first and second now with 1 out, and we got a mound visit. Instead of a mound visit, fucking get his ass out of there. Yeah, but for you guys that bet, you guys should have been smart and not even bet on this game because there was a 4-hour delay. So, and Buxton doubles on a sharp ground ball to left fielder Randy Arozarena. Jeffers scores. Cody to third. 4-0 Twins. Yeah, this one's over. Especially if the bullpen is going to keep giving up runs, we're having a hard time even just getting to 1. By the time that we actually get a home run or a nice RBI, what's the score going to be? So, but you never want to bet on a game that's got a delay of, 2, 3, 4 hours, because you just really don't know what's going to happen. But I know when the Mariners have a rain delay, we never win. First pitch from Pop to Larn. Hits the zone. Should have been called strike, but called ball. 1-0 count. Yeah, had to find someone else, man. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Pop to Larnach. And Larnach is the one that got the party started with a 2-run jack. And now we're sitting at a 4-0 deficit. We got a lot of guys that are available, but we're not going to use them when we're down. So you're not going to see Brash, you're not going to see Bizzardo, and that's our best 2. Gabe Spire has been unreliable lately, so we're stuck with the guys that are shaky. Even though our bullpen actually has been number 1 in MLB since June 11th, but today, Zach Pop, we just called him up a few weeks ago. But again, the trust level for Pop is not very high. Pop on the mound, Larnach in the box, but you could have went Trent Thornton, you could have went Gabe Spire, you could have went Legomina. Colin Snyder's still on the IL, but it shows that we definitely need to be buyers at the deadline, the trade deadline. We need to get 2 or 3 relievers and try to get Ryan O'Hearn, Bo Naylor, or Eugenio Suarez back on the Mariners. We need a couple more bats and definitely a few more people. And Larnach reaches on a throwing error by Ben Williamson. Of course that happens. Cody Clemens scores. Buxton to third. 5-0 Twins. This one is getting embarrassing. But again, you got to do your research before you throw your dollars down. If you're not doing research, you're just throwing money down the toilet. Especially with betting on baseball. There's a reason why people don't win on a regular basis. First pitch outside, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, and Castro doubles on a fly ball to Randy Arozarena. Buxton scores. 6-0 Twins. Is this good? And that's what happens when you bring in a shitty player from the pen. We were sitting just fine at 2-0. We might have actually been able to come back. But then when it went to 3-0, you started to be like, okay, it might be over. And now it's really over. But it shows you how one guy can fuck up the whole thing, And Pop needs to go back to AAA or be cut. Terrible. First pitch to Carlos Correa, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Hell, it was just 2-0 a second ago. Yeah, that's why that's why when you end up doing parlays and whatnot, you have to make sure you're doing the research. And I would never, ever bet on a rain delay game, ever. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss behind in the count 0-2. I mean, everyone that bets always thinks they're going to win, but the reality is, I mean, they have it set up in a particular way where, you know, you might win once in a while, but you're not going to be winning all the time. 0-2 pitch. That one's fouled off, high and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Pop to Correa, and I wish we would have brought in somebody better than Zach Pop since we were fucking sitting at 2-0, and now it's fucking 6-0. Especially with a couple more innings to go. I mean, even if we mash in 1 inning, I mean, the best that we could probably get to is, fuck, I don't know. I mean, if we had like an epic meltdown like we're having right now, as Correa singles on a sharp line drive to Randy Arozarena, Larnach and Castro score 8-0 fucking Twins. The maximum amount of runs that we're going to get is probably 2, and that's being generous. But Zach Pop, you know, just like Legomina and Snyder early in the year, I love when guys come in and give up 5-6 runs. Beautiful. Nothing makes me fucking happier. Terrible. And then, you know, Dan Wilson needs to be smart enough to, like, take the guy out. You know, when he puts a guy in, he just lets him stay in there and, you know, whatever happens, happens. That's terrible managing. Like, once it goes from 2-0 to 3-0 to 4-0, 5, pull! Why are we keeping this fucking guy in? Like, we're just getting embarrassed even more and more and more? Golly. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Pop to Wallner. But, you know, that's what happens when you have a manager that might be better than the last one in Scott Service, but still does not understand when to pull a guy and when to keep a guy in. So. Well, at this pace, Judah, you know, that doesn't bother me. Everyone's going to get a hit. You know, if Pop stays in this game, Jesus Christ, the score is going to be 20-0. Everyone will get a hit. Pitch is low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike from Pop to Wallner. Yeah, Emerson was good today. And look at this. Oh, Wallner homers on a fly ball to center field. Carlos Correa scores 10-0. This is literally like the worst performance from a bullpen pitcher all year. You know, we had 6 and 7 runs given up in back-to-back games by Snyder and Legomina, but we have not seen something like this all year. This is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 7 earned runs by Zach Pop. Jesus Christ. Make the bleeding stop. 10-0? Motherfucker. And on top of that, you know, it's not like it's in the 8th inning or 9th inning and then I can go eat a sandwich or go take a walk or something with my pup. I still got to fucking sit here for a few more innings and hopefully we can get to at least a couple runs. So that way we have a little bit of, you know, somewhat momentum hitting wise going into tomorrow against the Rangers, but definitely the worst performance right up there with Legomina and Snyder early in the year when they gave up, you know, 13 runs in extra innings combined, 6 and 7 runs accordingly. And now you got 7. And if he stays in the game, it might be 8, 9, 10. Who knows what the score is going to be, but definitely bad managing by Dan Wilson. Yeah. Oh, now we're going to need donos for my fucking therapy. Christ. 10-0? My phone is blowing up too. Got a batter timeout on a 1-2 count. 1-2 pitch. And Brooks Lee called out on strikes. It's a miracle. We got an out. What's that? How many runs do we get for that? For an out? Fuck. 2 away. Next up, first baseman Ty France. $10-0 Minnesota. It's funny how things can go so good and so bad so quickly. And France, first pitch, doubles on a sharp line drive to Julio Rodriguez. I mean, at this pace, if they just keep him in there, I mean, they might end up getting to 11, 12, 13. Terrible. Nice hit by Ty there. Next up, catcher Ryan Jeffers. They're doing so well, they're going to go through the order like twice in this fucking inning. Jesus Christ. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, takes another strike looking. It's a miracle. He got 2 strikes in a row. That's worth at least a run. Christ. 0-2 count. Nobody on? No. Runner at second, Ty France. So there's still a chance for them to get another run or two. 10-0 when it just was 2-0 a couple minutes ago. And just like that, 2 turns into 3. 3 turns into 5, then 7, then 8, then 10. 0-2 pitch, fouled off. Hop on the mound, Jeffers in the box. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. But this is the first time that we've seen the Mariners get blown out as Jeffers grounds out to J.P. Crawford, and that is out number 3. But normally in a rain delay, it ends up being 1 to 3 runs, combined for both teams. But you bring in a shitty-ass bullpen guy like Zach Pop, and, we weren't even going to come back if it was 2-0. But now being 10-0, all right, let's go to the top of the 7th inning, and let's see if we can get at least a run before the game ends. So that way we lose 10-1 or 11-1 or 12-1 or 13-1 or whatever the fuck the score is going to be. Let's try to get at least something rather than a donut. We're still sitting good in the wild card race, obviously for the 3 teams, but obviously we wanted to gain some ground on the Astros in the division, but Astros just swept the Phillies. They scored 1 run, the Phillies, in 3 games. Hard for us to catch up when we're not getting any help by the other teams, but we'll be just fine. Obviously, we're sliding a little bit, but we might be able to make it up against the Rangers, so... All right, let's go to the top of the 7th inning, and let's pray that we can get at least a couple hits and at least a couple runs before this one is over. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, right fielder Dominic Canzone. Batting second, first baseman Donovan Solano. And obviously Mitch Garver is out, so I'm curious to see what we get there. So does that mean that Zach Pop has to hit? Because I don't think I've ever seen the catcher go out and then they had Cal as the DH and they had to move the catcher. So I wonder if that means that Pop is going to have to bat. So now Brock Stewart exits the game. It doesn't really matter at this point. We're down 10-0. I mean, hell, they could have a position player go in there and pitch, and we still would come back. You could have a guy like Willie Castro on the mound, like when some teams are up by a bunch, and then they run out of pitchers, and then they just throw like a fucking shortstop or a second baseman out on the mound. Like, you could have that for the next 3 innings, and we still wouldn't come back. Brutal game, man. One of the worst performances of the year, from our bullpen. And it's crazy, too, because since June 11th, they were number 1. But now Zach Pop, obviously, ruining that fucking stat. And Garver with the foul tip off his jaw. Hopefully there'll be an update and they'll do an MRI and hopefully his jaw isn't broken. First pitch to Dominic Canzone. Low and away, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, low and away with that sinker. 2 balls and no strikes to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Dom. You had a positional player hit 90? Holy hell. Usually, you know, when you see a guy pitch, it's like 20 to 50 miles an hour. So 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. But I'm not going to let this ruin my day. You know, we got a good series coming up against the Rangers and got a WWE pay-per-view PLE on Saturday morning. So Canzone grounds out, 1 away. I mean, that was all on Zach Pop and Dan Wilson, man. Terrible decision. And normally when Zach Pop comes in, he's like the 3rd guy to come in, not the 1st guy after the starter. Next up is Donovan Solano. Putting Zach Pop in the game is like being at war and getting shot in the stomach and then just everyone looking at you and you're bleeding out. Like, someone get a medic. Help. Take him out. Get some bandages. Nah, let's just look at him. It's like in a video game when you get killed and you need to get respawned and they just stand there. Unbelievable. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Donovan Solano. Come on, Don. Someone's got to do something positive here. Got to get at least a 1 before the game is over. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 7th. We're only down 10. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But this is the 3rd big meltdown of the year. Snyder, Legumina, and now Pop. Each one of them has given up 6 or 7 runs accordingly. Can't win games when that happens. Pitch fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Donovan Solano. 1-2 pitch. Knuckle curve, low and inside at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Donovan Solano. Let's go, Solano. Two-two pitch. Low and away with the sweeper, 82 miles an hour. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Donovan Solano. I mean, like I said, we need an epic meltdown by their pitchers the rest of the way. And even if that happens and you have 3 terrible, pitchers, we still don't get anywhere near 10. We would probably max out at like 5. And they're going to have pinch hitter Dylan Moore come in for Pop. Obviously, you don't want Pop to fucking hit. But when we lost our DH, had to move to catcher Cal Raleigh after Garver was catching today. And now we got Demo coming in here hitting for Pop. And Demo, I mean, hell, we might as well have Zach Pop hit. I mean, Demo can't fucking hit either. He's been fucking terrible the last couple months, but maybe Demo can do something here. First pitch to Dylan Moore. Low and at the hips. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Top of the 7th inning with a runner at first and 1 out. 10-0 Twins. And we should have just fucking called this game and just, had it just not even happen and then just made it up later in the year. Terrible. All that momentum that we had sweeping the Guardians, didn't play that well against the Red Sox, but winning 2 games out of 3 against the Cubs and then winning the first 2 here, and having all that momentum and then having it just ripped away right out of our hearts like Mortal Kombat and Kano with a fatality in these last 2 games. And of course, Moore grounds out to first, Solano to second, 2 away. Demo ain't worth a shit, man. He's terrible. And it's crazy because he had 8 home runs early in the year, just like Jorge Polanco had 9 in April, but haven't done anything in like months. Brutal. Next up, Cole Young. First pitch right down the middle. Takes a strike looking with that cutter, 0-1 count. We got a runner at second. If Cole Young can get an RBI and we can get to 1, That would be great. At this point, we might get a goose egg. I hope we can get to 1 or 2 runs, though. Yeah, well, Demo did have 8 homers at the beginning of the year, but again, you know, just off. And Young grounds out to second. We leave another stranded. And let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Very close matchup here. We're only down 10. Next up for the Twins, 0 for 2 with a run, base on ball, and a K. Has had a productive series. Roger Clemens' son, second baseman, Cody Clemens. Batting second, 1 for 3 with 2 runs, an RBI, and a base on ball, center fielder Byron Buxton. And batting third, 2 for 4 with a run, 3 ribbies, and a K. 2-run jack, Trevor Larnach is the one that got the party started to give them a 2-0 lead. And now we got Trent Thornton coming into the game. It's a little late for that. And they should have pulled him, once the game ended up, going from 3 to 4 and then 4 to 5, pull, but of course, Dan Wilson's like, no, we'll just keep him in there and let him bleed out forever. But it was only 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th. And then everything just went all to hell. All right, Trent. Hopefully he'll do decent here. Safe to say we won't be seeing any Zach Pop photos on the channel. Bottom of the 7th, 10-0 Minnesota. 0 for 2 with a run, base on ball, and a K. Cody Clemens in the box. And Trent Thornton warming up on the mound here. First pitch in the zone, high and away, 0-1 count. Four-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour by Thornton. Come on, Trent. Big swing and a miss. Big swinging strike there on that curveball. Binding the count 0-2 to Cody Clemens, and now a batter timeout. Yeah, but I mean, we don't even get a chance to use Brash, Bizzardo or Munoz every day. But again, coming into this game, Mariners actually had the number 1 bullpen since June 11th. But obviously bringing in Zach Pop ruined that. 0-2 pitch, high and away, four-seam fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Thornton to Clemens. We'll be live tomorrow against the Rangers on the road at 5:05 Pacific. And I know we'll be able to get back on track tomorrow. Pitch fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Thornton to Clemens. We got Logan Gilbert on the mound versus Nathan Eovaldi. So it's going to be a fun matchup tomorrow. And anytime you got Logan Gilbert on the mound, you got a chance. 1-2 pitch. That one is fouled off, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Thornton to Clemens. And Clemens singles on a sharp line drive to right fielder Dominic Canzone. Man, make the bleeding stop. Next up, center fielder Byron Buxton. Crazy because starting pitching hasn't really been the greatest for us this year, and they've been struggling, but Emerson Hancock did pretty good, and then the bullpen is number 1 since June 11th coming into the game, and of course they fuck it all up here today. And Buxton popped up to shortstop JP Crawford on the first pitch. 1 away. Next up is DHing Trevor Larnach. 2 for 4 with 2 runs, 3 RBIs, and a K, and a 2-run jack. And that 2-run jack happened in the bottom of the 5th, 421 feet with Buxton on board. And Larnach flies out sharply to center fielder Julio Rodriguez on the first pitch there, 2 away. Nice job, Trent. Next up is Willie Castro. First pitch, high and away with the 4-seam fastball. 1-0 count. All right, one more out. Let's get out of this fucking inning. You know, he's having a good year this year. You know, I'm not a hater. You know, he's an injury-prone player with a lot of hype, you know, with his name, you know, from years ago. But again, if you're looking at his stats for 2025, it's like fringe all-star stats and whatnot. So, you know, I don't know if he'll make it and whatnot, but he's having an all-star type of year. 2-0 pitch, and Castro pops out to J.P. Crawford, and we get out of the inning without giving up anything. So, you know, if we would have done that earlier, maybe we're only down 4-0 or 5-0. But Dan Wilson decided to keep Pop in there for fucking ever, a decade, and now we're down 10-0. But nice job by Trent Thornton. I never thought I would say that in 2025 after him being so shitty at the beginning of the year, giving up like 5 homers in the first 15 games and then going to the IL. But much better of a player now. All right, let's go to the top of the 8th inning, see who's up for the Mariners. We got 2 chances left to get to 1. And hopefully we do. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, third baseman Ben Williamson. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a K, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. Let's go M's. We're only down 10. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Topa coming in. And it's still Mariners till I die. You know, I've been a fan of this team for almost 40 years. So it's like, you know, I've seen the good and the bad and the ugly. And in the last 40 years, we've only had like 4 good years out of 40. And I do believe we're going to make the wild card this year, unless the Astros hit a wall and we end up catching up to them and win the division, which is still possible. But we're going to have to make some moves at the deadline, and those guys are going to have to step up. Justin Topa coming in for Danny. Topa on the mound. Williamson in the box. Let's go, Big Ben. But again, being a Pacific Northwest fan, you know, it's not going to be all peaches and cream. I mean, really the best thing that we got going on between Oregon and Washington in the Pacific Northwest, you know, might be the Oregon Ducks and the Seattle Mariners. But other than that, you know, a lot of heartache and heartbreak. Seahawks, Kraken, Blazers, you know, Beavers, Cougs, Huskies, you know, there's going to be a couple teams that will hold it down. But again, you know, you have to be very mentally strong to be a fan of teams out here. It's not for the weak. That's for damn sure. Top of the 8th, 10-0 Minnesota. First pitch to Ben Williamson. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 0-1 count. Trident's up all day, every day, baby. Let's go, Big Ben. And Williamson grounds out to Topa. Throw to Ty France, 1 away. Next up is shortstop J.P. Crawford. And I like being able to watch the players and their body language, you know, based on getting your ass kicked. You can really learn a lot, you know, based on how each person approaches, you know, being in a situation like this with adversity. You know, some people are obviously have mentally checked out, you know, innings ago, but there's still going to be a couple people that are playing hard, whether it's for individual stats or pride or for the team and the city. First pitch in the zone, but called ball with that sweeper. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch Takes a strike looking on the line with that sweeper. 1 ball and 1 strike from Topa to Crawford. Let's go, JP. Obviously, this day has been ruined, by Zach Pop. But again, we can still get off the 0 and get to 1 or 2. And that'll help out, going into tomorrow when we go against the Rangers with Nathan Eovaldi. 1-1 pitch in play. And Crawford grounds out to second. 2 away. Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. And Julio sometimes will have a good game or do something magical when we're going to lose. So maybe this will be the at-bat that Julio gets a cheap home run. And then we get off the schneid and it's 10-1. Or he might strike out again. I mean, that's been something that he's been doing a little bit more regularly in June. Obviously, May was amazing. March and April, not so much. June, terrible. But May was good. But, being good 1 out of every 3 to 4 months ain't going to cut it, Julio. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Topa to Julio. I could really use a Julio or a Cal Raleigh home run. But, of course, you're not going to get it out of Julio. 1-1 pitch, and he grounds out to Correa to first to tie France, and that is out number 3. So I guess last chance, we're going to have to pray that Cal hits a solo dinger to get to 1. If that doesn't happen, then we're going to get shut out. Oh, I love me some J.P. Crawford. He's been on a little bit of a slump lately, but again, I think he'll be able to turn it around. And he's done a pretty good job considering, he was the leadoff hitter for years. Then he got replaced by Victor Robles and had to go to the 9-hole. That had to have been a big ego hit, a big punch to the gut, But after Robles got hurt, has actually done a pretty fucking good job overall this season. You're going to have ups and downs as a major league ball player, but hopefully he'll be able to start fast, against the Rangers and get back to where he was when he was hot. All right. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. Let's see who's up next for the Twins. Next up, 1 for 4 with a run and 2 RBIs, shortstop Carlos Correa. Batting second, 1 for 4 with a run and 2 RBIs, right fielder Matt Wallner. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a run, RBI, and a base on ball, third baseman Brooks Lee. 10-0 Minnesota. 10 runs, 10 hits, no errors. 0 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors by the Mariners. Terrible. And literally everyone's got at least a hit for the Twins except for Jeffers, who's 0 for 3. And Mastroboni is pitching. Miles Mastroboni is pitching. Holy hell. Mastroboni replaces Trent Thornton. Or is that the batting order? I was going to say. And then you got Jonah Bride coming in for Carlos Correa. That's awesome. Mastroboni on the mound, huh? I was kind of half joking about that earlier. Oh, my. Let's see if Mastroboni is a better pitcher than Zach Pop. And let's see what his velocity looks like. First pitch with the slider, 49 miles an hour by Miles Mastroboni. Oh my, 1-0 count. Mastroboni, 50 miles per hour. 1-0 pitch. Slider, 50 miles an hour. In there for a strike. Let's go. 1 ball and 1 strike from Miles Mastroboni to Bride. 1-1 pitch. Another strike with a slider. They all see balls. It should be a 3-0 count. I think this is kind of like pity calls and whatnot, but it is what it is. 1-2 pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mastroboni to Bride. Mastroboni pitching 47 to 50 miles an hour, bringing that fucking heat. Who needs fucking Scooball or Skeens when we got Miles Mastroboni on the mound? 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mastroboni, who's pitching against Bride. 3-2 pitch, and Bride singles on a ground ball to Dominic Canzone in right field. Good old Zach Pop. Thanks a lot, Pop. You bastard. Nice single by Bride there, who's a backup player. Next up is Matt Wallner. Now we have to pray for like some kind of double play or something here. First pitch, high and away from Mastrobuoni to Wallner. 1-0 count. Let's go, Miles. 1-0 pitch is fouled off. Right down the middle. That was a good pitch. 52 miles an hour. Watch out. Future Cy Young winner, Miles Mastrobuoni on the mound, throwing 52. 1-1 pitch. Ball in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike for Mastrobuoni to Wallner. Come on, Mastrobuoni. 2-1 pitch. Slider low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike for Mastrobuoni to Wallner. 3-1 pitch, and that's a walk. Come on, Miles. At least you're not as bad as Zach Pop yet. Next up is third baseman Brooks Lee. It would be kind of hilarious if Mastrobuoni gets out of this inning unscathed, and he's not even a pitcher, pitching 47 to 52. But he does have runners at first and second with no outs. They're like, we're not wasting any of our normal pitchers. We're going to keep them fresh for the Ranger series, which is very, very important. First pitch from Mastrobuoni to Lee. Takes a strike looking outside of the strike zone, but they feel pity for Miles, so they give him the strike. 0-1 count. And Brooks Lee grounds out softly to Cal Raleigh. First baseman Donovan Solano. Jonah Bride to third, Wallner to second with 1 out. Next up, Ty France. First pitch to Ty France for Miles Mastrobuoni. A heater, 49 miles an hour, high and away with that slider. 1-0 count. How does Miles Mastrobuoni even know how to fucking throw a slider? Wonder if he used to pitch, in Little League. One-0 pitch, in play, and France flies out to right. 2 away. Mastrobuoni doing better than Zach Pop, who actually is a pitcher. Next up is Ryan Jeffers, and this is the guy, is the only player on the Twins that doesn't have a hit. So if he gets a hit on Mastrobuoni, we'll have everyone 1 through 9, including backups with hits so far. 0 for 3 with a run and a base on ball for Jeffers, the catcher. Should have put in Miles Mastrobuoni early in the game. It's crazy how it went from 2-0 to 3-0 to 10-0 in a matter of like 5 minutes. But that's how it goes when you got a guy that's shitty. First pitch from Mastrobuoni to Jeffers. Low and away. Should have been a strike, but called ball. 48 miles an hour. Heat, baby. 1-0 pitch. High and away. Slider. 49 miles an hour. Oh, my. 2-0 count. 2-0 pitch. Low and away. Slider. 53 miles an hour. Oh, my. 3-0 pitch. And that's a walk. Uh-oh. Now we got bases loaded with 2 outs. All right, come on, Mastrobuoni. But it looks like Mastrobuoni can't even throw a 2-seam or 4-seam fastball. He can only throw sliders, or he's choosing to. All right, bases loaded. 10-0 Minnesota lead. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we are doing so shitty that we're bringing in a player that normally plays second, third, or outfield, Miles Mastrobuoni. And at this point, he's, not out of the clear yet, but he's doing better than Pop, who gave up 7 runs. First pitch, fouled off high and inside with that slider. 57 miles an hour. Oh my. He's bringing the heat. Mastrobuoni on the mound. Clemens in the box. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. That's got to be embarrassing. Roger Clemens, his dad, not happy. Behind in the count 0-2. Bottom of the 8th with bases loaded. Miles Mastrobuoni, a position player in the game. 0-2 pitch. High and away. Changeup. Oh, he threw a different pitch for the first time. Changeup, 79 miles an hour. How the hell did he do that? He was pitching 47 to 52. And Clemens flies out to left to Randy Arozarena, and that is out number 3. He was just saving that pitch. He was just fooling everybody, pitching 47 to 52, and then all of a sudden throws a 79 mile an hour pitch. Okay, Miles. He locked in his inner Scooball and Skeens, I see. And it shows you, a guy like Miles Mastrobuoni that has no reason of being in there pitching is more effective than a bad pitcher who only pitches, like Zach Pop. Unreal. Zach Pop goes in there, gives up 7 runs. We got a guy that doesn't even fucking pitch, giving up none. I mean, he did have bases loaded, but no one scored. Nice job by Miles. Maybe we should put him into the bullpen. My goodness. All right, let's go to the top of the 9th. Last opportunity for the Mariners here, and it's a very close game. We're only down 10, so all we need is 10 runs in the 9th, 11 to win. Easy. We can definitely do that. Next up, 1 for 4 with a K, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, 0 for 4 with 2 Ks, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, Cal Raleigh. I feel that batting order is wrong, but we'll see who comes up here next. But I mean, we've been doing so shitty for so long, who the hell knows? But sometimes, these broadcasts don't update their numbers and their players, so we'll see. It's like, didn't we just see JP and Julio? It's like when you're doing so shitty over and over and over, you lose track of where you're at in the batting lineup. Yeah, Cal Raleigh is up. I was going to say we saw JP and Julio already, but again, that's these guys for you. All right, here we go. We got Cal, Randy, and Dominic Canzone. Unless they have other people come in, so we'll see where it goes. Cole Sands is coming into the game replacing Topa, and if we just would have put in Miles Mastrobuoni in the game earlier, maybe we would only be down 3-0, not fucking 10-0. Zach Pop, you fucking bitch. Golly. Crazy. Fucking position player comes in there, gives up none. Zach Pop, professional bullpen player, gives up 7. Make it make sense. Ay, ay, ay. All right, first pitch to Cal Raleigh, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. Come on, Cal. I'll take a cheap home run here just to get a 1 on the board, and then Cal to get home run number 33. I mean, we have to look at the bright side of things when things are going shitty. 1-0 pitch, low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes from Sands to Raleigh. 2-0 pitch. Raleigh grounds out. Second baseman Cody Clemens to Ty France. 1 away. Yeah, we're going to get a 0 here. That was our only chance. We needed Cal to get a homer. And if we got a homer, we're at 1. And then maybe get to 2 after that. But Cal gets out. We're done. I mean, it's going to take a miracle now out of these next 2 batters. But I don't see it happening. I mean, these guys have all mentally checked out a long time ago. But at least Miles Mastrobuoni didn't mentally check out. He did well. Better than Zach Pop. All right, top of the 9th. We have 2 outs to go before hell freezes over watching this fucking game. And again, this is a lesson to be learned if you're a bettor and doing parlays, or if you're watching the game, never bet on the Mariners in a rain delay. It's not going to end well. First pitch, high and inside, 1-0 count. Sands on the mound, Randy Arozarena in the box. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Sands to Randy Arozarena. We can't win with a rain delay. Just impossible. 2-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Sands to Randy Arozarena. Yeah, I mean, with Ford, we have to treat it accordingly. I want him on the team, but again, we don't want to bring him up too early because if he does bad, then the trade value goes away. Even though I don't want him to trade him, I want him to be a part of the Mariner organization. But, hopefully we do see Harry Ford at some point. But I would predict unless Garver broke his jaw, then we might see Harry Ford really soon. But if he's just, a minor injury, I would assume we'll see Harry Ford after the All-Star break. And Arozarena called out on strikes, 2 away. All right, we're down to our last batter, and that might be a good thing because it's been not fun for the last 4 or 5 innings. But I'm going to grind it out like I always do. All right, the man that's going to save us, and he's going to start a rally in the top of the 9th with 2 outs, and we're going to score 11 runs straight, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. First pitch to Dominic Canzone, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Got to 60 likes. Let's go. We'll be better tomorrow when we go against the Rangers. Logan Gilbert on the mound. Let's go. We just got to be able to burn the tape and move on, And again, luckily we haven't, had blowouts like this often. I mean, we've only had a couple games all year that have looked like this. Thank God. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss by Dominic Canzone, behind in the count 0-2. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Sands to Dominic Canzone. Ay, ay, ay. Top of the 9th, 10-0 Twins. Sands on the mound. Dominic Canzone in the box. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes with that curveball missing the zone by Sands. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. We're down to our last strike with Dominic Canzone. Two pitch, fouled off, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Ems. 2-2 pitch, fouled off again. Curveball, low and in the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. I mean, all we need is 10 runs to tie, 11 to win. With just 1 out to go, we can do it. No problem. Nothing's worse than getting shut out. And getting shut out by a large number. I mean, it's bad enough when you lose like 1-0 or 2-0 because you feel like you could have had a chance. But like yesterday, only, 2-0. But man, 10-0? Fucking A, man. It's the first time I think all year that we've put up back-to-back zeros. I don't think we've done that all year. So thanks a lot, 4-hour rain delay, you bastard. Pitches low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Sands to Canzone. If Dom homers here, we should get 5. And Dominic Canzone singles on a ground ball. Here we go. How many runs do we get for a single after losing 10-0? Like 2? Nice job, Dom. Yeah. Foul tip. Baseball went into his jaw. Hopefully his jaw's not broken. But if he ends up being hurt and we call up Harry Ford, it might be a blessing in disguise. Because let's be honest, Garver's probably the worst player on the team right now besides Dylan Moore. So next up is Donovan Solano. First pitch, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Ooh, baby, baby, baby. Top of the ninth, runner at first. 10-0 Twins. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Misses the strike zone by about 3 feet. 1 ball and 1 strike to Donovan Solano. Yeah, but splitting the series is terrible when we ended up winning 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. The Twins are 38-42. You know, the Cubs were like 15 games, 16 games above 500, and we swept the Guardians. So, again, this was a series that we should have been able to win 3 out of 4 if pitching would have done their job. And unfortunately, losing 2-0 and possibly 10-0 in back-to-back games, not good. And Solano singles on a ground ball. Here we go. Where was this earlier? Here we go. The comeback is real. There we go. Back-to-back hits for Solano and Dom. But then what is it? Is it Dylan Moore now? Because he had to come in? Because we were going to have a pitcher hit at some point. Because we had Garver catching. Cal was a DH. Garver got hurt. And then they're going to go Miles Mastroboni. Miles Mastroboni in the game now hitting. Great job pitching, my guy. Maybe you should change careers. First pitch, takes a strike looking, high and away. 0-1 count. Mastroboni in the box, giving up nothing, coming in as a relief pitcher. Zach Pop, he does it as a living and gave up 7. Top of the ninth with runners on the corners. I mean, this is the best opportunity that we've had to score a run all day. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Sands to Mastroboni. I mean, I'm going to watch The Bear. I think I got a couple more episodes of the new season that dropped, but man, not ideal. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Sands to Mastroboni. We're down to our last strike, but at least we got a couple hits here late. Good effort by Dom and Solano. 1-2 pitch, fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners down the corners at first and third. Dom at third, Solano at first with 2 outs. Let's go, Miles. Well, you're never going to have an AI president. So, you know, Mariners winning a division and making the World Series and at one day winning one. You'll have a foreign-born president, you know, or someone foreign, you know, or, you know, that has American ties. A woman. Now, before AI. You ain't going to have no AI. AI is taking over the world, though. A lot of people are going to be losing their jobs. And Mastroboni singles on a ground ball to Brooks Lee. Here we go. There it is, baby. We got our run. Nice job by Miles. He says, I can pitch, I can hit, I'm the complete player. I'm Shohei Ohtani. Yes, you are. 10-1 Twins. Nice job, Miles. Someone get this guy a fucking lobster dinner. Next up, Cole Young. Runners on the corners at first and third. Now we only need 9 runs to tie, 10 to win. Let's go. Shohei Ohtani, who? Mastroboni can pitch and he can hit. He's a dual threat. It would be like literally the most hilarious thing ever if we ended up going on this like epic run here with 2 outs. But I'm just happy that we got to 1. 10-1 is a hell of a lot better than 10-0 after we went and lost yesterday 2-0. So now they're going to have a mound visit after Cole Young takes a strike looking. Like they actually have to strategize like the game is on the line. Oh, 1 pitch, fouls that one off right down the middle, behind in the count, 0-2. Nice job, Miles. That's the type of effort that I look for. You know, when you're getting your ass kicked, who's still playing? You know, and again, hopefully Miles will have a productive series against the Rangers. I really appreciate, you know, people like that just don't give up, you know. Anybody can easily give up in that situation, and Miles did good on the mound, and he got us the hit to get us to 1. Huge. It may not seem huge to most people, but again, that could help us, going into tomorrow. But we do got Logan Gilbert on the mound against Nathan Eovaldi, and I like our chances tomorrow. 0-2 pitch. That one's fouled off high and away. And Young grounds out to the pitcher, Cole Sands, and that is the game. Well, at least we got one, and we saw that Miles Mastrobuoni is a better pitcher than Zach Pop, and on top of that, got us the RBI so that we didn't lose 10-0. And I'll take a 10-1 loss after all the hell that we had to go through with Zach Pop. So final score, Minnesota Twins 10, Seattle Mariners 1. One of the ugliest games of the year, but I do appreciate all of the G's, all the ladies and gents in the room hanging out with me. I know it was ugly, but again, hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast. I tried to make it the best that I could based on being down 10-0. But we do have a game tomorrow at 5 and a 3-game set against the Rangers. Logan Gilbert on the mound, so we have that to look forward to. And again, we will play better against the Rangers than we did against the Twins. No rain delays when we play Texas. So love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Tridents up. Rangers tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific, and I'm out. Go M's.